Yeah, AZGK performance is ridiculous. Like, awesome. I was there last night and they gave me a bunch of free stuff. Like, I got my mask. Look, I got my mask. It has it's green, so I have green screen behind me. That's why it's showing see-through. But if you want to sponsor my podcast, I'm pretty cheap. Right now I am, because my analytics aren't the greatest. They're average. Yeah, so my audio podcast is actually doing really good. My YouTube station, I'm actually getting back into it, posting 5 times a day. Probably overkill, but I'm trying to learn. If you want to go to my YouTube channel for all my audio listeners, you can go to youtube.com/Coach Cameron Soccer. So go there and you can actually see the video portion of my podcast, not to take away from my audio analytics, but I just want to give you opportunities to see more of me. But first up on this episode, 528, ex-soccer player once claimed that he was late to practice in Chile because he was abducted by aliens, former teammates say. Is it a joke? I don't know. A former Argentina soccer player, Guille Marino, came up with quite the story for why he was late to practice with the Universidad de Chile of the Chilean Primavera division. An ex-teammate recalled Tuesday. Gustavo Lorenzetti told Mexico Lada B and Marino were playing for the club from 2011 to 2013. And Marino one time gave a wild excuse for being late to practice, according to ESPN. He expressed to the outlet that he was going to explain the story because Marino told him to. Okay. He says that he arrived late to one of the training sessions because he was abducted by aliens. He gave us the entire explanation of what he felt and the rest of it, Lorenzetti said. There are cases where the player says, I left and I came back 2 days later because I was kidnapped by aliens. But Guille is not that kind of player. He's a proper guy. Everyone knows Guille Marino. He's just a good person. He doesn't make up stuff like this. So Lorenzetti continued. He started to explain that he suddenly was lost and abducted by aliens. He explained that they take out your soul, analyze it, and while on the journey, they are looking after you. He said something like that. Kind of like an angel. Honestly, I believe in aliens. He gave a great explanation, and we have to believe him. Have to. I don't know other types of channels. We'll have to call him so we can tell it better. But in any case, he was abducted by aliens, he added. Lorenzetti said Marino studies aliens during his free time, and he explained it, made it feel like it was true. He added that he was unsure whether Marino told then Universidad de Chile manager Jorge Sampaoli. Okay, so this could be obviously it's probably a joke, and somehow it made it to ESPN. But it's a story, and we got to have stories to function. If we don't have good stories to tell, we don't get the ratings, and you'll get fired from your job as a news reporter. So we need aliens. I mean, is there not a better time to really, I mean, let's think about it. Growing up, I would always see in the stores all these, like, as soon as you go check out, and this is when I was a kid, and it was, what was it called? The Inquiring Minds, or it's just one of those crazy stories that was publicized. I forgot the name of it. It's it's a fraud newspaper, and they've been sued over and over. They always have a picture like Brad Pitt, sleeping with an alien or something, just that crazy kind of stuff. Inquiring Minds. I don't know. I forgot the National Enquirer, and so that became, it's big. People pay attention, but everyone knew it was a joke. But it's like not a joke anymore. Like, it's like legit news, because that's what news is. It's so full of lies that you'll believe anything, like aliens. So I don't know. It's frustrating to live in this world this day. It truly is.